the names that are in the picture.
From Florentino Perez's side, he's going to announce tomorrow that Konate is going to join Real Madrid if Florentino Perez wins, because he didn't renew his contract to Liverpool, which is something kind of tricky because at the half of this season, Florentino Perez was monitoring Konate's situation, but suddenly he discarded that. But after Mourinho agreed with Florentino Perez, Mourinho was clear. We need to reinforce the defensive line. So that's why Konate comes in when he was about to renew his contract to Liverpool. And then the other name is Dumfries, 90%. Because there are some other options for Florentino Perez, like Ivan Fresneda, that used to be at Real Madrid Academy, and now he's playing for Sporting de Portugal. And the other big name for Dumfries' replacement, just in case they don't seal that agreement, is Pedro Porro. Now, Tottenham Hotspur player, and it's not the first time that Pedro Porro is linked to Real Madrid. But the priority is going to be Dumfries because he's going to be the cheapest.
Pedro Porro did not have a good season. Ibrahim Konate had a terrible season.
But they do need to bolster that defence,
They do need to bolster. Dean Huijsen came in. He's a very good player. He had a very rocky season. Carreras had a rocky season at left back. Alaba's gone. Injuries to Militao. Carvajal's gone on the other side. So would Denzel Dumfries be to replace Carvajal? Obviously an extra body there, or would that be because Jose Mourinho does not fancy Trent Alexander-Arnold, whose big move has been a little ropey, shall we say?
If you want me to be honest, I think that Jose Mourinho doesn't really like Arnold
because he can't defend.
Yep. That's it. This is something that we saw during this season. I mean, he attacked really well. He got a great deliver. But at the end, if you are a right back, you got to defend.
Real Madrid's got a squad that doesn't defend well.
Yeah.
They've got a whole squad. They don't just need one guy in Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah, you're talking about Mourinho.
And again, as Craig just pointed out, you're signing Konate, who's had a terrible season. Absolutely terrible. So, they're not in a good place.
So chances that Jose Mourinho could get them to that 2011-2012 style of play that he had with the Real Madrid team that he had back then when they won the league?
I find it hard, first of all, because he doesn't have Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos anymore. That for me were like the two main players of that era. And secondly, because it depends on the final signings that he's going to have in the next month. Indeed, always saying that Mourinho is coming to Real Madrid if Florentino Perez wins these elections. But I find it difficult. They don't have the personality. They don't have the presence, as we say in Spain, on the pitch that he used to have with Sergio Ramos, with some other people. And on defensive line, he's going to struggle because Militao, for me, is one of the top 3 center-back players worldwide. But what about his injuries? It's always like, okay, I play 1 month and a half, and then I'm going to be 6 months out of Real Madrid. And there's no Militao replacement on the market.
In my opinion, Militao's done would be the wrong thing to say, but it's a situation where you 100% cannot rely on him at all. And when we're talking about the last couple of seasons, last 2 years, you don't go from having 2 years of trauma, injuries, in and out, breaking down, getting fit again. I mean, mentally, you're scarred to think that Militao, even if he stays fit, is going to be the Militao of 2 years ago before all these injuries.
And for me, they have another problem in Real Madrid, is the midfield. They don't really have that creative midfield that they used to have. They don't have Modric, they don't have Casemiro, they don't have Toni Kroos anymore. So they have to invest on that. And even if you buy, imagine, Enzo Fernandez, it's not going to be enough for Real Madrid because it's another kind of profile that Real Madrid needs. So it's kind of tricky for Mourinho.
The midfield, that midfield that you mentioned, and I was just going to touch on the midfield there. It's almost every facet of the team, including the front line, needs rejigged. You know, with Mbappe, is it going to be on the left or through the middle? And how's about the work rate and the pressing? The back line has had its problems, particularly the full-back areas, but also the centre-halves. But the midfield has no real identity. That midfield of Kroos, Modric and Casemiro, they all had defined roles. Every one of them knew their jobs. Casemiro's job was to protect that back four and to win the ball, to keep it simple. And Kroos and Modric then just made it tick. What's the role of this Real Madrid midfield? We don't even see Jude Bellingham playing as a number 10 now. Sometimes he plays on the left, sometimes he plays on the right. Sometimes it's Arda Güler, sometimes it's Brahim Diaz. Tchouameni was a little bit better this season. Camavinga didn't have a good season. But where is the defined roles of the midfield? it's a far cry from what Real Madrid were, and it tells you how big a job this is going to be.
And this is something that, first, Carlo Ancelotti and secondly, Xabi Alonso were complaining about. We need a piece in the midfielder in order to grow as a team. But Florentino Perez was like, no, you got the best players in the world, so you have to manage them. Don't complain about this. Don't complain about not having Rodri or not having Enzo Fernandez. Just manage these players. That is why Florentino now is changing his mind after Mourinho signing. Like, okay, if Mourinho, which is going to be the third coach in a row, asking me for this, now I get invested.
Yeah, and obviously Mourinho had more power than most coaches who have come in under Florentino Perez. Whatever happens, whoever comes in, we've got an interesting season ahead, haven't we?
I don't know if you can believe any of them, because you had Florentino Perez in the last couple of days complaining about the Club World Cup, which we all know it's a nonsense. He complained about it, but this is the very guy that wanted to win it. He stopped Jude Bellingham having surgery because he wanted that delayed for the Club World Cup. Then he comes out and says, well, we've got all these injuries because of the Club World Cup. I think as he's getting a little bit older, he's making less sense.
I remember that in the World Cup, in the Club World Cup, was PSG, and they won the Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's 6
one little swipe, just in case anything else has come up before we say goodbye to Rodrigo.
Remember that Holland is going to Real Madrid if Enrique Riquelme wins, and Enrique Riquelme is going to announce his coach, on Friday or Saturday, and he's going to be a superstar coach.
Okay.
See, that's not the reason we bring the phones into the studio. So sometimes we just before going off air, just to put a little pizza order in.
Lovely stuff. Well, we've definitely got an interesting season ahead in La Liga, whatever happens. Rodrigo, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
This edition of ESPN FC. You just saw Mourinho giving the C. This is the Florentino Perez 2026 campaign, confirming that it will be Jose Mourinho if Florentino Perez is to keep his place as president. Kay Murray here, Craig Burley, Stevie Nicol and Rodrigo Fayez joining us. And this all comes just as we're going to air tonight, Rodrigo, at a time when his challenger, Enrique Riquelme, is actually on TV in Spain announcing who his superstar signings will be.
That's why, well, thanks for having me, first of all, Kay. And that's why we're with the cell phone, trying to update, every minute, because we don't really know how he's going to counter-attack these big news related to Real Madrid. Yeah, Mourinho is the coach for Florentino Perez for next season on Real Madrid. This is something that we already knew from April, but, the surprise tonight was quite massive, and all the people around Real Madrid are like, oh, he's back. Let's set this on fire once again, as he did when Pep Guardiola was around. So big news for Real Madrid indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it change anything to do with the elections then coming up on Sunday?
I do believe that doesn't matter who is going to announce Enrique Riquelme, that Florentino Perez is going to be the winner. I don't know real advantage in between Florentino Perez and Enrique Riquelme, because Florentino has the advantage of everything. He's in charge of Real Madrid for the last 13 years. He's got trophies. He's got the authority, the global development of Real Madrid. So I think he's the main favorite. But let's see what Enrique Riquelme will announce, because everyone is wondering if Erling Haaland or some PSG player could be announced tonight within minutes for Enrique Riquelme's candidacy.
Where are we on the level of excitement or disappointment at the Mourinho appointment?
Yeah,
in terms of the fans.
To be honest, if you talk to the fans, they are all kind of delighted because they wanted someone like Mourinho. After Xabi Alonso, he was a different profile. After Arbeloa, he was a low profile for Real Madrid. Mourinho is like, okay, we're going to be back there. He's a great image worldwide. He's got the attitude, he's arrogant, and that's why the fans think that Mourinho is someone needed for Real Madrid and for this locker room with this discipline, lack of discipline during the whole year.
But I'm looking at as well. Why are you laughing?
I'm thinking, be careful what you wish for. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking about the type of football that they've played.
Yes.
Recently, in the latter stages of Ancelotti. Then this season, where Barcelona have been exciting, successful, forward-thinking, progressive, and Real Madrid have been standoffish, pedestrian, allowing